Hello and welcome back. This is episode 5 of our Folktales Cliffside playthrough. If this is your first time here, welcome and please like and subscribe. In the playlist from this video, you can see all the previous videos of this playthrough. We did have a few comments and suggestions on what they'd like to see. First, and I'm going to address those. First of all, we had a suggestion by Houseplant that he thought all the beavers should be named Justin Beaver. So, oh, I missed one. We now have a full colony of Justin Beavers, all fighting over who's the real one. I am not going to continue naming them, but it'll be an interesting marker of anybody that is not named Justin was born after Cycle 7, Day 1. And I'm curious to see how long all of our Justins will survive before they are no more and replaced by other beavers. Another suggestion we had was to build a dam right here, right after the bad water comes in and joins the good water. That one was by Colin Vanville. Thank you for that suggestion. One reason to do that would be during bad tides, this does keep flowing and the water will back up all the way here and we'd have extra contaminated ground. Another reason to do that would be just to extend how much water we have saved throughout here. So we are going to do that. That'll be one of the first things we're working on. And then we'll get back to building up our main reservoir over here. And the last suggestion we had was actually not for this direct playthrough, but rather for the channel, that they would like to see me do a playthrough without the ladders. And we can certainly do that on the next series. I am thinking about starting an Iron Tales series. And I was just curious if you guys, what map you guys would like to see me do an Iron Teeth run. There's Folktales and Iron Teeth. There are no Iron Tales that I'm aware of. But on my Iron Teeth playthrough, what map would you guys like to see? One thought I had is it might be cool to do the exact same map Cliffside, just to see how we can utilize the space different with the other faction and kind of do a compare between those two runs. Or we could do a completely new map to showcase other maps in this game. Let me know what you guys think we should do, and I'll get that started probably later this week. All right, so back to what we need to accomplish on today. We will be building the dam down here, like I said, and then working on this dam. Those are kind of the two main goals. I would also like to try to start working towards getting power a little more sorted. So that would involve getting gravity batteries unlocked now that we have access to metal. So just to start, we'll probably have a few gravity batteries up on this cliff, which will connect to windmills and then go down here to our temporary industrial sector. Gravity batteries work by storing energy that is excess energy on your power grid. And the higher they are, the more energy they can store. Because when they're at the top, they're completely full. Then a weight falls down, spinning your power shafts, and when it hits the bottom, it's completely empty. So building them up on this ledge will be a quick and easy way to get some decent storage. Higher would be better, but until we have access to dynamite, we don't really have a way to clear out some of this terrain to make things deeper. So even if we put them up here, it'd still be just the distance between this level and this upper level, which is not much different than this. I think this is actually higher. So yeah, so that'll be one of the goals. And we'll just see what we can get done. All right, so let's unpause this. That's enough talking before the episode even starts. So I think as far as this dam system down here, what I'm actually going to do is first move this staircase and actually this whole path. And then we can Well, at the bottom, we can put a sluice, just in case we ever want water to flow down this way. So we'll put a sluice down right about there, because this is right before that bad water mixes. And then we'll do levees. Oh, not that many levees. We don't need those two. And I actually want to raise this up a level to match the terrain height over here. We'll do that on this side too. And then we can store all of that and end up being the same height as... Actually, it won't be the same height as that. I thought this was the same level for some reason. So if we try to make it the same height as this dam, it will flood our industrial sector. But we can at least make it the same height as this lower area and store some more water there. In fact, that might eventually be a good place to do our pumping from, because it's a nice deep little pocket here that will form. But yeah, we'll do that, and we'll keep any bad water from backing up, so we don't have to worry about this contaminated ground spreading in some of our area that we could grow crops in. I don't know why I was paused that whole time, because I don't know. I on instinct pause it when I'm planning out building sometimes, but you guys probably don't want to just watch the whole thing paused very long, so I'll try to work on that and not pause it as often, or at least just bump it down to like a slower speed. So now that other stairs is done, I'll delete that one and delete the path and build some levees here. So then with that, we can make these ones levees. Oh, we need another levee there, actually. In the top row, we could do dams, but just to show how we can hold more water with floodgates, we'll do floodgates. It's going to be a little more expensive, but I'm okay with that. We are sitting pretty good on resources right now, so we don't need to be too stingy necessarily. So let's build a path for the beavers to get down here. And then they can start building on this side. Let's see, we have 400 science. I'm just thinking if there's anything that we'd want to unlock quite right about now. I don't think there's anything that's particularly calling out to me, besides possibly the gravity batteries. Actually, yeah, the gravity batteries are probably going to be what I'm going to build next. I'll wait till I have a little bit more metal stored up. And we're not producing any more metal blocks. Our tireless Justin over here isn't, because we don't have enough storage for metal right now. I'd like to build a large pile somewhat near this smelter. You know, we'll just do it, and we'll move it if we have to. So we can start storing some metal. Let's see, nothing's really growing over here. This guy, the only thing that's in range for him is this oak seedling once it grows up. We don't really need him working right now, so we'll pause that. These are all good. Ah, these two trees that we didn't want to harvest anymore, they have been chopped down and not replanted, so we can build this path here and build up these levees. So that's good too. And when you have things on the same priority, they build in the order you put it down. So I put these levees down before these three. So this will be complete before it builds these, which is good because then the water will flow out of this hole here still and not cause chaos for us. Let's slow it down a little bit, see how they did this. Wow, they built that all very fast, which is great to see. They can't reach down here. We need a path for them. Well, beavers like to go swimming, so let's give them a chance to do that. So this is a too high jump So we need a platform and 2 stairs. Or 2 ladders would have worked too, but I try to not be completely dependent on them this run. This run already has them, so I'm not going to be afraid to use them, but that works just fine too. So yeah, we'll let them just do what they're going to do while they get that ready. They haven't built this storage yet because they're working on all these levees first. Let's up the priority on that. Food's looking good. Wood's looking good. Water is looking very good. Let's see. The only limiting factor for us right now is still that the power. We don't have a whole lot of power. So we could definitely put some gravity batteries here. That'll be just fine. I did leave this spot open for them to drop down. And we have plenty of science and we're getting more metal. I think we can make our first gravity battery without being too worked up about it, but we also need to unlock vertical power shafts. Drought's already approaching. I guess it's already day 5. That's to be expected. To get even just a little bit more power out of the gravity batteries, I do like to put them on platforms. So we'll get started on that. This will eat into our plank some, but we are also full on our plank storage, so that'll give our lumber mill something to produce. However, these beavers do need a way to get up to these platforms. So they need a set of stairs. Or, if I build just one more platform on each of these, they only need the one set. I don't like that. Let's move the stairs over here. Then as long as we build this one first, they'll be able to reach all of them. So we'll queue that up. It will need a vertical power shaft, which can build on top of each other, going up to it. Something like this, maybe not right at that exact location, because it's going to take away from how much the battery can drop. But that's kind of the idea of that. So with us using this space, and this space for batteries, our power shaft will have to go probably right here. That one doesn't need to be vertical. It can just be a regular one. We can't quite put it down there. Doesn't connect from below the platforms. But if we put another vertical shaft here, and then a regular power shaft, it's now all connected and we're good to go. And then, actually, 2 platforms now allow us to get over the road. That's connected there, there. We can't go up higher because the windmill needs that room. So that path is not going to work for that. Let's just delete this platform. Let's go this way instead to connect it. I wanted to leave this space for a building, but we can just delete that power shaft and make that a building there too. Or, actually, even better, no, we need that spot open. Let's say we could have the path there, but we don't want the gravity battery dropping there. We'll just leave it as is for now. And those are all going to be connected, and then that's connected. So the beavers will be busy for a while with all these building projects we have. Between this dam and this dam, these stairs, all of those gravity batteries and platforms, it's going to be a bit. It's going to be a bit. So like I said, it prioritizes in that way, in that order. So it's going to build this one first, then this one, then this one. We could also put these shafts down, but they might build them ahead of the other ones just because if they don't have the metal, these will wait, but they can still build those power shafts. And if they build them, it might block the paths. We'll just wait on that for now. They can build one up, so above them, so they'll be able to build those power shafts from the ground. They might even be able to build these gravity batteries from the ground, and maybe these platforms are unnecessary. But we have them now. It's fine. They're not doing any harm for now. We can always delete them. Let's see. We will need more power generation to supply those batteries with power. So what we can do, I like to build my windmills on top of a solid power shaft. We can put the other one right here. That way it's already connected to the power grid, just like that. That's still not likely enough windmills, but we're kind of pressed on space. Maybe, I think I could fit one more here if I actually move these slightly. Move them out this direction towards the river. So let's do that. Let's see if that works out for us. Connect that. And then, yes, we can do one more. Well, it's going to be two more. We might not be able to do that one. And we can't. That's okay. This should be enough power for now. It's a lot of materials. A lot of buildings we just put down for our number of materials. But the resources will come in slowly but surely. We have all the production up. And it is still a temperate cycle, so this water wheel is still going. I'm a little worried I got carried away with that and didn't build enough of this dam up. It's just going to have to be what it is. I do want these three built, though. I would like to store more water there. Gotta go with this. This is the priority. Technically, we don't even need this levee here. Unless we had the beavers walking across this, then we would. Which, honestly, is probably the simplest way to build this at the moment. Later on, since the beavers can build infinitely down, you often use these bridges. You go up high above what you're trying to build, and you build bridges. And they can build directly below the bridge, and one to either side. So if you were to put a bridge here, and say a bridge here, this whole area, they would be able to build everything below it. So that's one of the most useful thing for bridges, besides actually, if you want to use them for pathing, that's totally legitimate as well. And use them as bridges. But they're also very helpful for building tall structures. All you have to do is get up above them, and then build the bridges out. And if you need to go further, at the end of the bridge, you can build a stack of platforms. And just keep building out like that. So I'm glad they're working on those. See what else they're working on. Part of the problem is, not really a problem per se, but we have only 4 builders. We have a limited population of beavers. We don't have a whole lot of work of labor to make all of these projects that I put down. It says it's too far from a path. So I find, it's because this hasn't been built yet. Well, that needs to be built first, and then we can connect these. I think this will look a lot nicer. That was a good suggestion. It'll just kind of keep that bad water more separated. Keep it out of our hair. Hopefully that's what you were suggesting and I understood correctly. And we have one open bed. Don't know. I like having more beavers for more labor because I would like possibly to build another builder's hut to give us more builders for all these projects we have queued up. I'm just a little worried with our current water storage and current food storage and production that we can't survive a long drought at the moment with too many more beavers. So we'll just see how this one's going. Before we expand the population some, I would like this reservoir a little more sorted out than it currently is. The drought is about to start. There it is. So really, we didn't do much here. Let's see. But if this ever goes below 0.4, this tiny extra reservoir will drain. It's a 13-day drought. We still only have one of these pumping, and I think that's how we're going to keep it. So that hopefully we can make this work. We are already filling up on log storage again. One thing I've neglected is I don't have any log storage near my industrial sector. So I do want to address that because the lumber mill takes logs and makes them into planks. So they need logs nearby, and the smelter also burns logs to make the metals. So we do want logs nearby. And I think the best place at the moment for us to put a log storage is going to be right here. So we can go ahead and put a log storage just like that and build up on platforms. We weren't using the space below that river anyway, so that'll be good. I can set that to logs already so I don't forget. There we go. And we'll go from there. Now all of this is less priority because, well, there's no water here. But I still want them to get it done, so I'm not going to actually physically deprioritize it. But if they're going to get down there to build it all, they need to build these stairs. So we are going to prioritize that. Let's bump it back up to 3 times speed. Our food stores are still doing good. We're still running out of potatoes pretty often, and I guess all of our beavers do have, in fact, at this point, I could just say all of our Justins do have grilled potatoes. And so that's good. I thought maybe we didn't have enough potato production because we're sitting right around, we're not really storing very much, but everyone has the buff, so we're doing okay. Might be an idea to swap out some more of these carrots for potatoes. But my good statistics mod does say that we are running out of carrots, meaning we are eating more than we are producing. So with that in mind, maybe we don't want to lose any more carrots. We do have a lot of unoccupied jobs, but that's mostly in our hauling post. We had set these at the same priority as the hauling post. But now we are not in such a crunch for the science. So I think I'm going to put some of these back lower. I want a little more haulers to move stuff around because it does seem like part of they weren't harvesting all these carrots because this was full and not, but the storages over here weren't full. That means we didn't have enough haulers moving the carrots from the farmhouse to the storage. That's why these ones aren't harvested. So, can they build up that high? It doesn't say it's... I don't think they can build up... Oh! Hey! They're using a pretty ingenious method to get over there. I didn't even realize that they had a path over there. Since we didn't build this corner piece, they can actually just walk across there. And if I pause these 3 floodgates first, while they work on the other ones, they'll be able to complete it no problem. So we'll just unpause these one at a time. because I don't remember if I dragged right to left or left to right when I put these down, so I don't know which one of these they're going to prioritize. Hey, they're building some of the platforms for our gravity batteries. Excellent. I know they can still reach those. Nice thing about this sluice being here, it does tell us the depth downstream. So we don't have to guess by trying to place a levee here and say, is that higher than a block or less? It is a little more, which matches this 1.1 depth that we got here. But now we know exactly how deep this is, so we can kind of keep an eye on that. We are 3 days through this drought, so everything's looking pretty good still. Remember, with these dams, they let water out at 0.65 of their height. So that means the maximum water height we had up here was 1.65. So we've lost about 0.65 of our water in. Okay, that's actually going down quite quickly. Maybe we do want to consider stopping pumping entirely just to make sure that doesn't run out. We have a lot of water in storage. I'm not worried about running out of water at this exact moment. We're losing quite a bit to evaporation too. And this was only, I believe, what, 13, 14-day drought? So we are going to definitely need a bigger reservoir here, no doubt. We're running out of planks. And gears, too. Ah, we don't have the gears for those. So we do need to turn the gear workshop back on. All right. We'll just let that go. I suppose all of these platforms I put down definitely did do a number on our planks. That's kind of to be expected. So we'll get those going again. We need gears for the gravity batteries. We need gears and planks for the vertical power shafts, and planks for the platforms. And our log storage is almost full. Not entirely full, but almost. I think it wouldn't be a bad idea to unpause one of these other lumberjack flags and get these growing. Yeah, not growing. Get these, well, yeah, growing in a sense, because once we cut them, they'll be replanted, and then they'll be growing again. Get them harvested is what I meant to say initially. We do have an injured beaver. Luckily, we do, well, not luckily. It's because of our good planning, we have enough medical beds. For that, we're still sitting at 10 well-being. I'd like to see that go up some too. It's not a whole lot of super easy. Well, there are a few easy ways to get that up. What is the next break point? How much higher would we need to get it to get some benefit? 15 for the working speed, 22 for the movement speed. We're probably not going to get the movement speed. Was there another one in between there? Where's a beaver that's not quite as happy? Oh, I don't want to change your name, Justin. I want to look at you. Okay. This Justin's only got a well-being of 10. So the next tier for 15% move speed from 5 is actually 12. So if we can get up to 12 and get all these beavers moving faster, that would be well worth it. What are they missing? No, we don't have enough campfires for everyone. That's part of it. Or enough wet fur. Okay. Well, I think one easy solution is to build just another campfire. Now we can also build some of these contemplation spots. And it's just a single tile spot that beavers use to contemplate nature. And they get happy by sitting by themselves, and with a little statue and just contemplating. So maybe that will push us high enough. If not, we can look for a spot to maybe build a Lido that actually helps fulfill two needs. It helps their their fun of the Lido, as well as giving them wet fur bonus. But for that, we need to find a spot close to the water. I guess we could possibly put it over here, although that's a little far from from our colony than I'd like, ideally. The other building we could do is rooftop terraces. We start with those unlocked. They do have to be placed on top of other buildings. So I guess we could put one up here. We could put one on top of both of our carrot storages and call that good. The only problem is then we wouldn't have the ability to put other storages on top of them. But right now we don't need a whole lot of other storages, so maybe that would be a good way for us to get our 12 well-being. And it is a little cheap that I'm using the ladders, but we'll try one without it next time. I think after this fairly long drought, I'll at least pause the video and look at how long it's getting. I don't want these videos to get too long that you guys get bored. Definitely let me know if you like the video length as it is, around that 45 minutes to an hour mark, or if we should try to shorten them a little. I would like to keep it close to the cycles, either the start or end of a bad tide or drought. That would be, I feel like those are natural places to stop, but once the droughts get longer, it's going to be harder to have those be at super convenient times. So just let me know what your preference is for video length, and I'll try to accommodate that as best as I can. Sometimes when I'm having fun, I might lose track of time a little bit. But we'll try our best not to make them so long that everyone gets bored. Okay, so they finished these levees, which means we can put levees above it. And this gap here that we're leaving, like I said, is acting kind of like our dams. It's where the water is going to naturally flow. So I think we're just going to have them use some ladders to get up top here. And then they can build directly down and build those. Now they won't be able to get all the way across unless we do put dams. Do we want to commit to that being as high as we can go? I think they can definitely build that one. We'll see if there's a better way to get... We could build more ladders. I'm trying to think if I just want to cap it out with dams right now or wait for it to be larger. You can always expand it. It would just be temporary. I do think before I bother placing my first dam, though, I think I'm going to make it one level taller. So I'm going to delete that road. Put more levees here. And one more ladder. Let's try that. Levees. Dams. And then with that, they should be able to reach all of it. Most of this just requires wood, besides the ladders. I'm going to prioritize those ladders. I'd really like this going by the end of this drought. That way they're not using the planks all over here. Let's see. These are still waiting on gears and planks. They do require 40 planks each. I was really expecting them to build this one first, but they are not. But that's fine. No problem. You know what? Since this one connects closest to our power shaft, I do want them to build that one first. So I want to get the resources back from this. They should be able to grab that no problem. I'm going to pause this one so they can focus on that being our first gravity battery. We are definitely behind on plank storage. I did go a little crazy with the plans. How much water do we have left here? 0.5 with 2 days left. I think it's safe that for us to be able to start pumping out of one of these. And these don't have a path because these ladders aren't being prioritized and we're short on planks. Let's prioritize those. And I'm prioritizing too much stuff. No matter how I prioritize things, we still don't have the planks. Part of the reason we don't have the planks is we don't have enough power. Because we don't have enough power, can't make the planks, and we need the planks to get more power going. So, it's kind of a brutal cycle. But eventually, this will get done. And then that will greatly help our power needs for the time being. We have a lot of metal stored up. In fact, I think we have more metal than we need right now. So to help with our power demands, I'm going to pause the smelter. That way there's more power left for the lumber mill and gear workshop. Okay, reevaluating the food. I think we're doing just fine. Everyone's still being happy with the potatoes. You know what I do want to check? I want to check how many Justins we have left. Not as many as I thought we would. All right. Everyone that is not named Justin was born during this video. These beavers definitely cycle through fairly quickly. All right. Water level. Still 0.4. Yeah, we're definitely good. We're going to unpause both of these. And I do want to see how all the water works out when we get this going. We just don't have the planks to get all of this working. So this is still acting like our overflow right here. It is what it is. Until they have the planks to make all these ladders, it won't really change. Ah, our rooftop terrace. At least one of them is accessible now. So that should help our well-being. More of them have that breakpoint of 12, which is that 15% move speed, which is pretty huge, actually. It's going to come in very handy. The drought has ended. Technically, we need 3 edges for this waterfall to not overflow. But between that and the sluice, I think we should be okay. If it floods a little bit, where would it go? It would back up maybe over here, maybe here, but I think a lot of it will come through these two. So does it look like that's going up much? Because technically this should have 4.4 flow, and the water sources are producing 5. So it's not a huge difference. Okay, so that's flowing again. And our new dam down here is all set up and holding lots of water. Good. I am happy with that, actually. That looks good. Now it's flooding. It's flooding because we're trying to hold more water here. Well, why is it flooding? It was just a little surge. That happens occasionally in this game. The water physics, it kind of rolls down. It should stabilize. If not, we can lower this a little bit. 0.9 is trying to cut it pretty close. If you say 0.85, that should let a little more water out of there. So I really don't like having these buildings being flooded. Let's see what happens once the water physics kind of settle down here. Still wanting to flood. Interesting. I do think it's settling down. It's kind of just pulsing. Let's look at this next wave. Yeah, it's settled down. I don't think we'll have any more flooding. I really expected it just to flood right after I said that. Nope, I think we're good. All right, so things we accomplished today. We didn't get a whole lot accomplished. We did get this dam set up. And we got the plans down for our power expansion. Now, why did they start building this when I had it paused? I don't think there was any materials in this one before that. I'll delete it just like the last one. That way they have to build this one next. As far as gravity, the first gravity battery, because it's the only gravity battery. We do have flooding over here, which honestly I should have seen coming. They can survive a few days flooded, so if we prioritize these two, that should help, and then it'll just flood over here. And honestly, if some of these berries get flooded, I'm not too worried. All right, I'm already day 3 into cycle 8, and I did say I'd end the video, so I am going to do that. Again, let me know what you guys would like to see. Thank you so much if you watched this to the end. Sorry if I was a little rambling today, but so be it. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. Hope you enjoyed my ramblings, and I will see you next time.